So just the other week, we had a Republican group chat be leaked of a bunch of young Republican leaders who were out there just saying a bunch of depraved, racist, literal Nazi shit. And that happened. And a lot of them actually, like, it led to some blowback. I believe some resigned, stepped down, had job offers rescinded. So awesome, awesome stuff. It's like almost like a little bit of wokeness coming back, but like in a good way. Because like if you're out here saying like I love Hitler and I wanna gas the people who don't vote for me, like come on, man. Was woke that bad? Would you rather have some woke pink-haired college kids or people just like comfortably saying like, yeah, I want to gas people. I love Hitler and all this other stuff. Anyways, so that happened. And now we have another instance of a Republican having their group chat messages leaked. And this one is probably the highest profile of them all because they are actually a Trump nominee, like for I think the lead, like the special counsel office. So, and these texts are, I will argue, way worse than what we've seen from the text last week from the other Republicans because while a lot of that is serious and they definitely do have a lot of Nazi beliefs, like you could tell some of it was probably just some edgy, dark, depraved humor. But like this guy is just like, he wears it on his sleeve to the point where like other Republicans, to their credit in this group chat, were like, all right, doc, you need to relax. You're being a bit racist, a bit too racist for me. And then the chat ended up ending. So credit to them. And then, they come out and expose this. So who are we talking about here? We are talking about Paul Ingrassia, President Donald Trump's embattled nominee to lead the office of special counsel. And boy, like some of these messages had me like, wow. He's quite the opinionated individual. This is him, by the way. At least he's not like some fat baby-faced like loser. Like, he objectively looks decent here. So, like, is a side rant here. It blows my mind when you have like these Republicans who are like fat, disgusting, baby-faced losers being like, yes, white supremacy, we are the pure race and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, look at you, dude. At least this dude looks decent, all right? Anyways, not important whatsoever because everything he says here is just, it's on another level of depraved and he's being like 100% serious. This isn't joking. Politico interviewed two people in the chat and granted them anonymity after they expressed concerns about personal and professional repercussions. One retained the messages and showed the text chains in its entirety to Politico. Honestly, I kind of want to, if I was like, it seems like these could be Republicans that have at least some semblance of principle or values left that isn't like authoritarian Nazism. Like, I kind of want to put my name on this. Like, yeah, fuck you. I was a part of this chat. I pushed back on him, and now I'm exposing him. Like, all right. Anyways, one retained the messages and showed the text chain in its entirety to Politico, which independently verified that the number listed on the chain belongs to Ingrassia. The person said he came forward because he wants the government to be staffed with experienced people who are taken seriously. Well, I am sorry, my friend, as noble as this specific effort is, the government is already being staffed with people who are inexperienced and who are not taken seriously. Look at the Pete Hegseth, the department head of the Department of War. Like, what was he, an Army reservist? And then RFK Jr., head of Health and Human Services, Lee Zeldin of the EPA, Dr. Oz of Medicare and Medicaid. Like, I could go on forever. There are like 1% of this administration is staffed with someone who's like actually experienced. And the people who are actually experienced and qualified for the position are just like monsters. Like, look at Marco Rubio. He's probably the most like qualified person in the Trump administration. And the dude is just a spineless fucking monster. Anyways, The second person has since deleted the chain and didn't recall specifics about it, but did confirm that the discussions did take place. So this is a statement from Ingrassia's lawyer. The gaslighting is already out in full. Gaslighting and admission is already out in full force. So looks like these texts could be manipulated or are being provided with material context omitted. And like, here's the thing, like Republicans be like, oh, you're posting me out of context. And like that argument works for leftists because normally like when you post someone like Hassan Piker out of context saying America deserved 9/11, if you look at the context of that and actually listen to the rationale behind it, it's like, okay, yeah, a bit of a not like very politically correct thing to say, but like, yeah, I see it. But for like Republicans, when you add context to the things they say, it almost makes it worse. Like, I don't know if anyone's noticed that. It's like, okay, this is out of context. Let's see what the full context. Oh, it's worse. It's worse. Maybe we shouldn't have had context here. Anyways, like, there's no amount of context that can make any of these texts that we're going to go over, like, just even remotely reasonable. However, arguendo, even if the texts are authentic, they clearly read as self-deprecating and satirical humor, making fun of the fact that liberals outlandishly and routinely call MAGA supporters Nazis. He wrote in a statement. See, you could almost make this argument for the other Republican dipshits that got outed last week. But, like, not this situation. And it's funny, like, okay, so, like, are the texts manipulated or not? Like, he just says, like, it looks like they can be manipulated, but, like, even if they aren't, it just looks like there's some missing context, and we're just being edgy, bro. It's like, you just, like, destroyed your entire case with your first fucking statement. But I'm not going to complain. So here's one of the texts. MLK Jr. was the 1960s George Floyd, and his holiday should be ended and tossed into the seventh circle of hell where it belongs. And then one of the other Republicans in the group chat was like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's probably how I'd react to Jesus Christ. Okay. And this is another statement from his lawyer. In this age of AI authentication of allegedly leaked messages, which could be outright falsehoods, doctored or manipulated, or lacking critical context, is extremely difficult. What is certain, though, is that there are individuals who cloak themselves in anonymity while executing their underhanded personal agendas to harm Mr. Ingrassia at all costs. We do not concede the authenticity of any of these purported messages. Dog, everything you just said here confirmed the authenticity of any of these messages, because you can't even like say like this was doctored. You could say it may have been doctored, but even if they were real, there's missing context or they were just jokes. Like, what? By the way, we're not going to read all of this because this is like a super long article. I'm going to have the link in the description below. I can't remember if I mentioned that already, but I highly recommend you read this whole thing. It's something. So one of the other Republicans said, Paul belongs in the Hitler Youth with Obergruppenführer. I'm pretty sure Ober. I think that's supposed to be an O. I think that's like a SS paramilitary thing. Anyways, with Steve Bannon. I do have a Nazi streak in me from time to time. I will admit it. All right. Politico reported that Ingrassia, 30, has been subject of an internal investigation at the Department of Homeland Security, where he works as a White House liaison, after a sexual harassment complaint was filed against him. The woman who filed the complaint later withdrew it and said there was no wrongdoing. Ingrassia's attorney denied the allegations. So he also has a little bit of sexual harassment complaints that were previously filed. And then here's another one. This is in regards to Vivek Ramaswamy. He said, and this is like a funny thing on how like you think like the left and just the left in general. I hesitate to call liberals on the left, but we'll just say liberals and leftists. You think the division there is great. Sometimes you got to remember that like a lot of Republicans are straight up Nazis and racists. Okay. But that doesn't mean that all Republicans are Nazis and racist. There are, still a lot of Republicans who aren't out and about Nazis and racist. And they tend to collide, especially when you do have people within the MAGA movement in the Republican Party, such as Vivek Ramaswamy, who is Indian, and you have the white nationalist wing who are like, oh fuck no, like I agree with everything you say, but fuck you, you're Indian. And then Vivek Ramaswamy's like, no, it's okay, I understand why you're racist against me. I'm pretty sure it was him, right, when he was talking. I don't remember who he was talking to. Oh God, it was someone who was like, oh, who was it? They were like, yeah, I wouldn't vote for you because you're an Indian. He's like, yeah, I get it. Anyways, I digress. Not the point. Anyways, in regards to Vivek Ramaswamy, he says, never trust a Chinaman or Indian. Never. All right. Paul, you are coming across as a white nationalist, which is beneficial to nobody, a third participant in the chat replied. So, like, these other Republicans in the chat are like, bro, you're being a white nationalist. When Ingrassia apparently said that defending our founding isn't white nationalists. That participant pushed back, saying Ingrassia reflexively went to saying whites built the country. They did, Ingrassia said, according to the chat. Ingrassia posted an image of paintings showing several founding fathers, including Washington, John Adams, and Alexander Hamilton, into the chat. We should celebrate white men in Western civilization, and I will never back down from that, he wrote, according to the chain. And then here's some other text. I said, we're making Kwanzaa illegal in the next Trump admin. That was the gist of my tweet. No, I don't think I can. I think that's like a slur, so I'm going to avoid saying that. So no, this holidays, from Kwanzaa to MLK Jr. Day to Black History Month to Juneteenth, every single one needs to be eviscerated. In February 2024, Ingrassia wrote, we need competent white men in positions of leadership. The founding fathers were wrong that all men were created equal. We need to reject that part of our heritage, according to the text exchange. Yeah, man, does this sound like someone who's kidding, just being edgy, just making jokes about like how like liberals always call us Nazis and stuff? Ingrassia has had ties to Nick Fuentes. He was the out and about Nazi who debated Alex Jones on how like Hitler was based. And then Andrew Tate. Everyone knows Andrew Tate. He's the far right influencer who has been charged in Britain with rape and human trafficking. He is among many other things. In March 2023, he said that education should focus on elevating the high IQ section of your demographic. So, basically young men, straight white men. And in December 2023, Ingrassia declared on X, exceptional white men are not only the builders of Western civilization, but are the ones most capable of appreciating the fruits of our heritage. So, yeah. If you want to disregard everything in the group chat that was leaked because you want to claim that it's, I don't know, AI or whatever, what about what he's just openly posted on X? Like, this guy's a white nationalist, and it didn't take these group chats to show that. And the fact that Trump still picked him to be a nominee to lead the Office of Special Counsel should be very revealing to you. Periodically during the text chain, the group nudged Ingrassia to tone down his rhetoric, especially if he wanted to work in a future Trump administration, according to the person. Soon after the May 2024 text exchange, the group chat disbanded. People were tired of Ingrassia's rhetoric, according to the chat participant who provided the messages to Politico. I will not be posting on this thread going forward, the first participant said that day, referring to Ingrassia. The person added, there are enemies in this group. Please take my name out of this thread. So, yeah, I feel like woke's coming back a little bit, and I think this guy might not actually get confirmed, which would be great and, show a little bit of semblance of, not hope, but just a little semblance of not full-on, like, open white nationalism and Nazism. But who knows? It's crazy to me, and I'm always going to go back to this. Like, this is the far right. Right here. The far right is fascism. It is racism and nationalism of some group, whether it's white or whatever. And like, Republicans and these people on the right don't even know like what far left is. They think far left communist is Kamala Harris or Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer. All three of these people aren't even left. They're not even center left. I consider all of these people center right. Like, far left, like let's go the full like far left. What would be leaked in a far left group chat? Like, we want to give you health care against your will. We want to give you free college. Or let's go a little bit more extreme. We want to ban billionaires and redistribute their wealth. We want to, okay, let's go like full communist. Like, we want to end corporations and put them under control of the people. Or we want to seize the means of productions. Like, this is the stuff you would see out of like a far left group chat. You know what I mean? Like an actual communist group chat. Not the free college and free healthcare part. That's just like basic social democracy that every other country is doing. But like, my point is, it's just not comparable. Like, the far left versus the far right is not comparable. And I would 10 out of 10, every single day, I would much rather be associated with the far left, with socialist, communist. I would much rather be called a communist than a fascist or authoritarian, or be anywhere near that side of the political spectrum any day. All right. Like, the far left versus the far right, it's literally not comparable. Okay. Like, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.